Hi guys, it isn't exactly shocking if I were to say that the Conservative Party is somewhat flexible with the truth, but they seem to be incapable of owning up to the reality of why they lost the last election. Partygate destroyed the general trust the public had in Conservative politicians, and Liz Truss's mini-budget sunk any idea that the party was sound on economics. Of course, 14 years of Tory mismanagement when it came to public services and austerity didn't help them, but shadow ministers like Mel Stride seem to think that if they ignore reality and lie to the public, it will turn things around. Here he was on Trevor Philips' show doing just that.
Would it not help to get the international markets on side if they thought that our political establishments, both sides of the aisle, were being a bit sensible about this, and your part would be to acknowledge that mistakes were made?
So, as I say, I had a number of things. I'm on the public record very clearly. At the time of that mini-budget, I was chair of the Treasury Select Committee, and I was very clear on my opinions, and they have not changed. One of the reasons, actually,
but
Trevor,
no apology,
possibly why I'm sitting here now, is that very point, is that my party has almost exclusively, almost, but not always, but almost exclusively been the party of fiscal responsibility. That is in the DNA of Conservatives. We believe in sound money.
Okay.
And I and Kemi and our team are now going to go out over the coming months and years and put beyond all doubt that we are the party of fiscal responsibility. And part of that is challenging this government, who are back to the old days of socialism, where you think you can spend your way into a better world. And we are discovering that you can't.
Guys, fiscal responsibility and sound money is deep within Conservative DNA. Does anyone actually believe that? I don't think even Mel Stride himself believes that, because look at what's happened over the last 14 years. Was that fiscal responsibility? Was that sound money? Public services on their knees? Public services run into the ground? Schools literally crumbling down? Lack of staff, police officers, nurses. The list is endless. And then, of course, we had Liz Truss's mini-budget and austerity as well. Now, the Conservatives are not the party of sound money. They're not the party of fiscal responsibility. They have convinced a certain section of society that they are. But you notice here that there's no contrition. There's no apology. See, I've said before, if Kemi Badenoch really wants to make a clean break from the past, what she needs to do is she needs to apologise. She needs to say, we were sorry, we messed up, we want to rebuild trust with the public. Like, think about it in normal life. If you've wronged someone, the first thing you do if you want to rebuild trust is to apologise. You say, I'm sorry, I messed up. But the Conservatives are incapable of doing that because of their arrogance. They don't believe that they owe the public an apology. They believe instead that they need to trick the public into trusting them again. That's their modus operandi. That's how they think. It's not about fixing the problem. It's about convincing the public that there isn't a problem in the first place. You notice here, he said, well, I'm in place because of what happened, but he's not explaining exactly what happened. He's not saying that what Liz Truss did was wrong. He's just saying that people think that it was wrong. But remember, we're the party of fiscal responsibility. We're the party of sound money. Now, I don't know how he can rebuild trust until he's willing to say that they made a mistake. The mistake, of course, was Liz Truss and Kwasi Kwarteng. And I've said before, what they should have done, and I really didn't understand why Rishi Sunak didn't do it, maybe because he was spineless. What he should have done is removed the whip from Liz Truss and Kwasi Kwarteng, kicked them out of the frigging party, and said, these people were a disaster. What I want to do is put as much distance between myself and them as possible, and what we're going to do is going to fix the problems. But he was too spineless to do that. He allowed them to remain in the party. Liz Truss remained in the party until she was kicked out at the last election, creating problems for Rishi Sunak, creating problems for the Conservative Party. If you don't believe me, and I've mentioned this before, Sir John Curtis has pointed out that the Conservatives lost 6 percentage points because of Liz Truss's mini-budget. And I think it's done much more damage than that, because it has completely blown a hole in this concept, ridiculous concept, that the Conservatives are the party of sound money and fiscal responsibility. So if they want to rebuild trust with the public, they need to apologise, or they need to put someone in charge who has no connection to the past, a new politician, somebody who was not part of any previous administration, and they can try and sell the public the idea that they are new, that they are not connected to Liz Truss or Kwasi Kwarteng. But Kemi Badenoch can't do that. So no amount of arrogance, I think, is going to convince the public that you're the party of sound money and fiscal responsibility. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot.